Hello everyone, we have some great news today. Another embarrassment for Meghan. The Duchess was ridiculed for an embarrassing jam failure. Meghan Markle became the object of ridicule on the internet after fans of the royal family noticed that in new photos, she was holding jam-making equipment upside down. Over the weekend, the Duchess of Sussex quietly launched new products on her lifestyle website as ever. Among the novelties are the white wine Sauvignon Blanc and the replenishment of her apricot jam and orange marmalade. To promote the launch, Meghan shared new photos of herself posing in the kitchen of her mansion in Montecito, California. In the pictures, she uses canning equipment to get a jar of jam from a large pot on the stove. The release initially went unnoticed amid Meghan's disastrous trip to Paris Fashion Week. She was accused of giggling after a model's fall on the catwalk and was also filmed in a series of awkward interactions with celebrities. The video showed the Duchess apparently laughing as the model collapsed at the Balenciaga show. Her smile quickly disappeared when she noticed the cameras. Her friend was sitting next to her with a stony face. Footage from the shoot captured another awkward moment. Meghan tried to start a conversation with British actress Dame Kristen Scott Thomas, who turned away from her, leaving the Duchess in an awkward position. The Duchess was condemned for a puzzling clip posted on her Instagram profile. It shows how her feet rest on the leather seats of a minibus while she's being driven along the same route where Princess Diana died in 1997. While Meghan is being condemned for indecent behavior, I remind you that there is great news ahead. Meghan also awkwardly kissed Balenciaga designer Pier Popoli Piccioli. Their heads bumped as they bent down for a hug. The Duchess was ridiculed for her Zoolander-style gait. Observers noticed that she seemed to be parading as she left the Balenciaga show in Paris. Meanwhile, keen-eyed fans of the royal family noticed a strange detail in Meghan's jam-making photos that appeared on her website, as ever, over the weekend. Meghan's expensive jams are allegedly inspired by a recipe she created in her home kitchen, according to her website. But on social media, people have pointed out that the Duchess appears to be holding her equipment upside down. Some even joked that this was her first attempt at making a homemade product. Meghan was holding the curved end of the can tongs, which is specially designed for lifting cans, instead of the black rubber handles. Fans wrote on the internet, "Oh my God, she's holding the can tongs upside down." One experienced jam maker said, "I'm not using the tongs right. I've been canning for many years." Another added, "Her tongs are upside down." Several fans of the royal family have said that Meghan's use of tongs shows inexperience in making jam, and this is despite the fact that the Duchess previously stated that jam is her thing and released her raspberry jam as her first product. One person noted, "No one ever uses the back burner or holds the tongs upside down." Others said, "Meghan pretends to personally preserve all the jars at home. How sincere." Another one commented, "This must be her first time. I did the same, and my mother corrected me." Jar tongs are traditionally used to safely lift hot cans from boiling water, especially in home canning. For Meghan, whose jams, as ever, are allegedly inspired by a recipe she created in her home kitchen, they would be essential equipment.
Meghan Markle accused of laughing at Fashion Week model who tripped on the runway. Meghan Markle is currently in Paris for the city's Fall Fashion Week. It seems there's nowhere she can go to escape obsessive criticism from online critics. On Monday, Meghan was criticized for posting content too close to Princess Diana's crash site. Seriously. And today, she's taking heat for giggling at the wrong time. Duchess Meghan gets roasted for behavior at fashion show. Meghan attended the Balenciaga runway show over the weekend. Her critics really had a field day. For starters, the brand's image never fully recovered from the highly problematic ad campaign it launched in 2022, so Meghan's critics were upset that she attended the show at all. They got even more upset when she seemed to chuckle after one of the models stumbled. One person tweeted video of the incident, writing, "Leave it to Meghan Markle to be the only one to laugh when a model walking the Balenciaga show has a trip up." They added, "Reminds me of that time Meghan Markle laughed at an autistic woman singing the Canadian national anthem at the Canucks game." And as Radar Online reports, many social media users chimed in with their own criticism. Very sympathetic. A real mark of a good person, eh? One person asked sarcastically. And then she very quickly realized how inappropriate and cruel that was. Too little, too late, another added. Why does she find such joy in others tripping or falling? A third person chimed in. Others allege that this is the sort of thing Meghan does regularly. Inappropriate laughter, usually at someone else's misfortune, is the only spontaneous thing Meghan does. All the rest is calculated and performative, wrote one such accuser. She's a terrible person, always laughing at other people's misfortunes. She laughed at Princess Charlotte, a child, another person alleged. We report on Meghan pretty regularly, and we weren't aware that she's in the habit of publicly cackling at other people's misfortunes. It's worth noting that the video from the Balenciaga show is not nearly as damning as the original poster thinks it is. Meghan's light chuckle could have been in response to literally anything. And of course, if Kate Middleton had done something similar, many of these same critics would probably be praising her for showing her human side. Meghan shouldn't have to deal with this sort of treatment. But the sad fact is, she's probably used to it by now.
Prince Harry speaks out after charity watchdog criticizes him over Sentabale row. Prince Harry has accused a charity watchdog report of falling troublingly short in its findings regarding a dispute at Sentabale, a charity he co-founded in 2006. The Charity Commission cleared the Duke of Sussex of overreach at the charity, but they criticized him and others for letting a damaging boardroom battle play out in the public eye. The watchdog investigated Sentabale for 4 months. They have condemned all parties to the dispute for allowing it to play out publicly. In response, a spokesperson for the prince said, "Unsurprisingly, the commission makes no findings of wrongdoing in relation to Sentabale's co-founder and former patron, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex." They continued, "They also found no evidence of widespread bullying, harassment, or misogyny and misogynoir at the charity, as falsely claimed by the current chair." The spokesperson added, "Despite all that, their report falls troublingly short in many regards. Primarily, the fact that the consequences of the current chair's actions will not be borne by her, but by the children who rely on Sentabale's support." The commission found that the trustees' failure to resolve disputes internally severely affected the charity's reputation and risked undermining public trust in charities more generally. Pointing to a lack of clarity around role descriptions and internal policies as the key cause for weaknesses in management, the watchdog says the confusion inflamed tensions. This culminated in a dispute and mass resignations of trustees and both founding patrons. In March, Prince Harry and Prince Seiso of Lesotho, the co-founder, quit as patrons, and they said the move was in support of the trustees, who also resigned, in a dispute with chairwoman Sophie Shondauka. It is devastating that the relationship between the charity's trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation, the princess said at the time. Dr. Shondauka said she had reported Sentabale's trustees to the Charity Commission. She had taken legal steps to prevent her removal. She also made claims of misconduct. Prince Seiso and Prince Harry founded the organization in 2006 in honor of Harry's mother, Diana. The charity helps young people and children in southern Africa, particularly those with HIV and AIDS. The watchdog said the dispute began after 2023 when Sentabale's then trustees tried to implement a new fundraising strategy in the United States. A serious dispute then emerged between Dr. Shondauka, some trustees, and the Duke of Sussex. Members of the regulators said that after conducting interviews and reviewing evidence, they found the delegation of certain powers to the chair was a confusing, convoluted, and poorly governed process. There was a lack of clearly defined delegations. The watchdog said that then trustees failed to have proper processes and policies to investigate internal complaints. More generally, a lack of clear policies contributed to the failure to resolve disputes, they concluded. The commission said public statements made to the media and criticism made in television interviews did not serve the charity's best interests. It found no evidence of widespread or systematic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or racism, but they acknowledged the strong perception of ill treatment felt by a number of parties to the dispute and the impact this may have had on them personally.
nor was there evidence of overreach by either the chair or the Duke of Sussex, it said. But the regulator concluded the failure to clarify delegations within the charity to the chair and the failure to have proper processes for internal complaints both amount to mismanagement in the administration of the charity. The Commission has issued Sentebale with a regulatory action plan. The plan says the charity should have a clearly defined patron role set out in writing. The plan also includes improving complaints and whistleblowing procedures. The watchdog said all the charity's then trustees contributed to a missed opportunity to resolve issues that led to the dispute. Financial difficulties following the COVID-19 pandemic contributed to tensions, it added. David Holdsworth, chief executive of the Charity Commission, said Sentebale's problems played out in the public eye, enabling a damaging dispute to harm the charity's reputation, risk overshadowing its many achievements, and jeopardizing the charity's ability to deliver for the very beneficiaries it was created to serve. Prince Harry's spokesperson said that he would find alternatives to helping the children supported by Sentebale in Lesotho and Botswana. As custodians of this once brilliant charity, Prince Seeiso, Prince Harry, and the former Board of Trustees helped grow Sentebale from the seed of an idea to, like its namesake, a flowering force for good. With the original mission of Sentebale firmly in mind and in honor of the legacy he and Prince Seeiso began, the Duke of Sussex will now focus on finding new ways to continue supporting the children of Lesotho and Botswana. Dr. Shondalka said, the unexpected adverse media campaign that was launched by those who resigned on March 24, 2025, has caused incalculable damage and offers a glimpse of the unacceptable behaviors displayed in private. She continued, "We are emerging not just grateful to have survived, but stronger, more focused, better governed, boldly ambitious, and with our dignity intact. Despite the recent turbulence, we will always be inspired by the vision of our founders, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, who established Sentebale in memory of their precious mothers, Princess Diana and Queen Mamahato. To all who believe in our mission, please walk with us as Sentebale recovers, renews, and rises to meet the hopes and expectations of the next generation."
Prince Harry's white savior complex has been dealt another blow. You've got to feel sorry for Prince Harry. After some of the best headlines he's had in years during his well-received return to Britain last month, that goodwill has swiftly been dismantled under a wave of bad publicity. There was the accusation that he or someone around him leaked sensitive information about his brief meeting with his father to the papers, and now the revelation that one of the charities he's closely linked to, African Parks, has been described as no longer fit for purpose, or, to be exact, indelicate and disrespectful. The calamitous and scandalous collapse of Sentebale earlier this year has now been followed by this less dramatic but equally humiliating withdrawal, all of which might leave the Duke wondering what, exactly, is the point of his continued involvement with these organizations. Well might he ask. Although it is possible to suggest that his high media profile and indeed willingness to go above and beyond for charitable activities when the mood takes him are positive attributes, we also live in an age when African countries and organizations are understandably wary of the idea of the white savior. They are wary of someone cheerily appearing from America or Europe and suggesting that they, and only they, have the savvy to sort out problems that have persisted for generations. Harry is far from a malicious man, except perhaps where his family are concerned, but he is a thoughtless and arrogant one, as we have seen time and time again. The latest humiliation that he and his charities face is a reminder that blundering in amateurishly can cause trouble. A dose of humility and good judgment would be extremely welcome in the future.